Hey, good evening, John Mayfield, the real estate tech guy. It's 11:10 p.m. on a Saturday night, but I need to do a few questions with you, and I need to actually start proofing some of these new questions that I've developed and we've transferred over into the new program I'm using. And so first question just really wants us to know, as you can see here, how much money the buyer needs to bring to the closing. So in this case, the home is selling for $250,000, and the buyer will be putting 5% down as a down payment. So if the estimated closing cost amount to $8,000, what is the total amount of cash the buyer needs to bring to the closing table? Well, I think it's going to be $20,500. I think that's the right answer. Let's take a look and see. Correct. Hey, I got that right. 250,000 times, you can see the 0.05, the percentage that the buyer wants to put down. That is 12,500. Closing costs are 8,000. Total cash to close. Well, you have to bring the down payment, and you also have to bring the closing costs. So $20,500 is what the buyer needs to bring. Number two, a property generates $100,000 in gross income each year. Expenses are $40,000. If the rental income rises by 10%, what's the updated net operating income? Now, a lot of people would take $60,000, $100,000 minus $40,000 and come up with $66,000, right? You'd take that $60,000, which is net income, and multiply it times 0.10, and you say, oh, it's going to go up $6,000. However, the gross income is how much? $100,000. So when you take $100,000 times 10%, it's $10,000, right? So that's $110,000. And then when you subtract $40,000 in operating expenses, the correct answer is $70,000. There we go. Now, a buyer purchases a home for $250,000 using a VA loan that requires no down payment. The closing costs are $7,000, and the VA funding fee is 2% of the loan amount. How much cash will the buyer need to bring to the closing table? Well, closing costs are $7,000. Funding fees 2%. 2% of $250,000 is what? 1% is $2,500. So if you had that on 5, I'm going to say $12,000, but do you think it could be 7? Let's take a look here and see. It's $12,000 because you need the 2 points, 2% funding fee, and you need the closing costs, which are $7,000. Now, don't forget, under a VA loan, the seller could pay the closing costs, but it didn't ask us that in the question. What is the dollar amount of a 1% loan origination fee on a $200,000 mortgage? Well, $200,000 times 1% will be $2,000. Hey, all of these sample questions I have as explanations to help you out. Global Real Estate School students, you have access to this, so don't forget that. A home is being sold for $300,000, and the state charges a transfer tax of $1.50 for every $1,000 of the sales price. What is the total amount of transfer tax owed? These are tough ones, aren't they? So it's being sold for $300,000. Charges a transfer tax of $1.50 for every $1,000 of the sales price. So we have 300 sales prices, right? And if we take that times $1.50, I think it gives us $4.50. And we will look at the explanation right here, so you can take a look at that. But those are 5 quick questions. I'm going to be keep coming back and trying to do a few every day. I listened to this amazing book called The Slight Edge, And this is my a penny every day to multiply will add up in value, right? So 5 quick questions. Hope that helped you out. I'm going to go to bed now. So have a great day, and I will talk to you in the next video. See you later. Bye.